Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Extreme Arena and Hawkeye Volleyball. Apologize for the late start, a little technical difficulty, but the reward for the late start is not only do you get to listen to John Evans tonight, but Reagan Coyle, former Hawkeye, 2015 to 18, joins me. Welcome, Reagan.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
Tonight, Iowa takes on Minnesota, the, ninth-ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers. Rematch of a couple weeks ago. Iowa headed up to Minneapolis at the beginning of the month. Fell in four sets to the Gophers. Was there any seeing a team a second time in a month? Was there any upside to that? As the favorite, as the underdog, one better than the other?
I suppose it's a little bit more familiar. If it's any further out than that, you're kind of familiar with the scouting report in a sense that you just took them on a few weeks ago, but. Any night in the Big Ten is a big game, so that's my take on that.
Talked to Coach Barnes before the match. Iowa now will be approaching, I guess this weekend is the halfway point of the season, so they play these two games. 8 of their first 10 are against ranked opponents. They played Indiana twice, and so those were the 2 unranked matches.
Sure. And
then the back half of the season only has 3 ranked opponents in it, at least currently. You never know in the Big Ten, but.
Yeah.
They've been close against the good teams. What's the idea of, hey, we're close to getting through, but we can't. How do you keep doing the right thing? Because your teams you were on built through your years. How does that work?
I would say that even though the front half of the schedule is pretty loaded with ranked teams, like I said, in the Big Ten, there's no easy match. So I think you can't lose sight of that throughout the entire season, no matter how far along you are.
Ranked or unranked?
Ranked or unranked, and you have to go into each game, ranked or unranked, playing the same way, playing consistent, and the season gets to be a long one. So you really got to, stay motivated and really go all out every night.
How do you, I know we've had some little bumps and bruises and injuries and things, but how do you is there this is a weird schedule. You play Wednesday night midweek game. We jump on a plane tomorrow afternoon and play Friday night, and then actually they finally get 2 days off. There's a little bit of a celebration there for the midway point to get 2 days off.
Sure.
How does the different schedule fit in? Does it matter? Do you just, hey, we just go where the itinerary takes us, or is there something better or different about the schedule?
I would say, where the itinerary takes you. Obviously, a home match is a nice, change of pace when you can have your home crowd and be a little bit more motivated to win for your home crowd. Every Big Ten game, away is a tough match. So those can get tough if you kind of string those together, multiple of those in a week. But, where the itinerary takes you.
Starting lineups being announced. Right now, libero Mari Hinkle just tossed her ball out into the crowd. Can't quite see all of the Minnesota starting lineup. And then it's a pink out. And so we've got these, our great lineup sheets in pink are not great for an old guy's eyes. So working a little harder to see who's coming on the Minnesota side of the net there. 8, 12, 16, and then Kilkelly. So starting lineups brought to you by Quickstar. For Minnesota, Jenna Wennis, McKenna Wooker, Melanie Schaffmaster, Rachel Kilkelly is the libero, Nia Gross, Taylor Landfair, and Ellie Huseman.
Cece McGraw is libero, I think.
What did I type down? Oh, yeah. Cece McGraw is the libero.
I was going to say, they must have changed something.
Now I wrote it down in the dark. That's how good I am. That's why I hate it when they turn the lights out on me. They make it difficult. Delaney McSweeney just went to the bench for Iowa in place of Mari Hinkle took her place. Toyosi Anabanjo, Amaya Jones, Bailey Ortega getting the start tonight. Addie Vanderweide and Michelle Urquhart. Those are your Quickstar starting lineups. Iowa comes in 7-12 overall, 1-7 in the Big Ten. Misprint there on their sheet not updated. And Schaffmaster to get us started tonight. Goes at Hinkle, good pass to Ortega, runs it outside to Vanderwide, high off the block. Covered by Wooker. Middle attack from Minnesota, dug by Hinkle. Jones goes up, pushed over on the Minnesota side. Tapped over, hit diving play by Hinkle, goes over. A little sloppy so far. McGraw puts it over on a banjo. Ortega out to Vanderwide. Across, McGraw with the dig. McGraw with the free ball. Jones takes it. Ortega outside Vanderwide swings it off the block and scores.
A little bit messy in the middle of the play there, but
neither team 100% ready to roll there.
First point is always like that, I feel like.
I talked to Coach Barnes beforehand. He said Minnesota did like to crash the middle, and you saw that there. 3 good passes, and Iowa didn't go to Jones on any of them. Second ball there tipped over. Huseman didn't exactly connect on the middle contact, but was able to tip it over the block and score, tied at 1. There's Kilkelly. I knew she was going to be in.
She's in a red jersey, though.
Kilkelly to serve. Fires it cross court. Vanderwide steps in front. Ortega goes behind her to Anabanjo. She's blocked. That's
solid block there by Landfair.
Landfair and Huseman. Kilkelly again. Same spot. Vanderwide. Ortega outside back to Vanderwide. Rolls it over. Misses wide. Tried to kind of finesse one into the 4-5 seam and just missed. 3-1. Same spot. Better pass. Ortega goes behind her to Anabanjo again. Right down the line and scores. Landfair didn't get the line closed off, and Anabanjo took advantage.
I like that high swing by Anabanjo. She didn't try to bring it down too low, just right above the tape. That was a nice high swing down the line.
3-2 Hawks trail. Ortega and Anabanjo go out. Tessier and Black come in. Tessier goes cross. Tough pass. Platformed out to Landfair. Big swing, scores. The #1 recruit from the class of 2020 gets her first kill, 4-2 Minnesota.
Small hole there between the block of Black and McSweeney. Just need to close that.
Minnesota running 6-2 now. McGee comes in to serve. She'll set. Goes over at Vanderwide. Tessier. Ball's dug up. Good play there. Landfair hands it over. Uses Tessier. Hinkle goes to Vanderwide on the right. She's blocked. Tessier was in the right spot to cover, but couldn't quite get it up in the air. 5-2. Minnesota good on the block so far.
They are there for every swing. Got to be a little bit craftier with the shots there.
McGee again. Vanderwide. Tessier outside to Black. Goes right down the line and scores.
Good hard swing outside that block for Black.
Dennis will come in. She'll serve for Vanderwide. So you were primarily right side. Is there any major difference between hitting one pin versus the other?
A little bit as far as the sets go, but for a lot of the balls, the majority, go to the outside hitter versus the right side. Don't quite get as much garbage on the left side. Or the right side, sorry.
Kill there for Schaffmaster. She didn't get all of it, pushed it into the block. 6-3 Minnesota. Wennis to serve. Goes at Dennis, good pass. Tessier pushes it outside. Urquhart gets the kill.
I really like those fast sets that they're running to the outside. They're really speeding up the play by doing that. It doesn't hang in the air for too long. It kind of creates some chaos for the Minnesota block over there. They don't have as much time to get out all the way out there to the pin.
Hinkle to serve now. Goes cross. Landfair, bad pass. Goes right back to her, though. She's blocked on a triple. Pushed out to the back row attack. Tessier gets it. Landfair dunks it. Hinkle's there and digs it. Urquhart swings it off the block, but it catches the line. Third block for the Gophers, and it's 7-4. So going back to your point, when you're talking about the quick set out, Is that then, so maybe the middle can't get out there as fast, and so you get a better one-on-one, you get a seam?
Better one-on-one, and you have some line too, because that, that right side can't get all the way to the line out there.
Landfair gallops over. Dennis, Tessier, Jones. One-handed dig, punched over, no double contact. Hinkle uses hands to block on the right side. She goes off the block and scores. She beat the Wooker block off the hands into the Gopher bench. 7-5 Golden Gophers.
Great spot for the Hawkeyes to be in with their setter, Schaffmaster. She's in the front row right now, so Minnesota only has 2 attackers.
Ortega passes off the net. Schaffmaster pushes it outside. Wooker off the block and scores. Yeah, they basically only brought McGee in to serve. She didn't stay in. So staying in the 5-1 for Minnesota. McGraw now. Runs forward, goes at Urquhart. Pass to Ortega to Jones. Through the block, scores. I guess that's the beauty of when you go outside 3 times, then maybe they give you a little bit more space.
And you're setting Jones too, that helps.
Dennis doesn't want to play the front row, so she comes out. Vanderweide checks in. Urquhart now back to serve. Mickey goes sharp cross. Passes tight. Schaffmaster dunks it. Ortega mostly saw it, but couldn't control it. Knocks it over Hinkle's head. 9-6.
It's a great effort by Ortega with that setter mindset. She knew that setter was dumping. She was ready, but just couldn't quite get it up.
Schaffmaster back to serve now. It's right down the line. Vanderweide. Ortega, middle to Jones. No touch there, rolled off the tape. That's one of those kind of trying to force it to her. Maybe it was a little low. And
it was a little low. Yep, I saw Jones kind of give her a little higher signal.
Seemed to be really attacking Vanderweide here in serve receive. Yeah. Goes at Hinkle, kind of ate her up. Urquhart gets it up in the air. Vanderweide rolls it over. Good ball there. Back row, those missed. Tried to get Landfair out of the back row, missed the connection.
Looked like Schaffmaster was kind of going for the Bick, which is just a quick back row attack, kind of like a 1 for back row, and just missed up on the timing there.
Jones to serve for the Hawks. Floats that one over, Landfair. Schaffmaster behind her, off the block, scores. Wooker knocks that one through, 11-7. She's got a couple kills and a couple swings so far.
Not doing anything fancy. I think she's just hitting high and kind of finding a spot on the court to put it.
6 kills and 10 swings for Minnesota so far. And that's an ace serve from Kilkelly. Ball dropped right in front of Urquhart there.
Yeah, they're really drilling that seam between Urquhart and Vanderweide.
Kilkelly again. Giveth and taketh away. She knocks that one in the net. 12-8 Minnesota. Still early in the set, but Hawks will need to string a couple together here. Tessier to serve. Goes right down at Landfair. Middle attack coming. That was Huseman. She beat the McSweeney block.
One-on-one block there. The middle had kind of 2 options to go. It's a tough one to defend.
Cut it off Tessier. McGee serves it at Vanderweide. Good pass to Tessier. Outside to Black. Blocked back down on the Hawkeye side. That's Gross and Wennis. And the Hawks will go ahead and call a timeout. 14-8, Minnesota leads set 1. We'll go ahead and take a short break. This is Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball. Midway through set one, Iowa trails Minnesota 14-8. Just a quick look at the stats. Minnesota 7 kills on 11 swings. Hawkeyes 6 kills, 6 errors, and 4 of those errors have been blocks. If you're a Hawkeye fan, anything different you can try to do as an attacker? It's just Minnesota seemed to have a good double on most of those.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is that Iowa's been a little bit out of system with their passing, so I think Minnesota just knows it's going to the outside and knows it's going to Jones. But also I think the Hawkeyes need to switch it up, throw in a few shots in there, throw in a few tips, and make them think about where you're going to place the ball. If they're there on a block, don't try to swing, don't try to bounce it. I know it's tempting sometimes, but I would say just be a little bit more crafty. Sometimes you're going to have to hit high.
Dig a little deeper in the toolbox we talked about.
Yep.
See what Iowa can come up with. They'll get a chance to receive the McGee serve here. And they've been picking on Vanderwide, going at her quite a bit. She's getting her money's worth here in the early going on serve receive. There it is again. Bad pass. Black steps in. Urquhart rolls it over. Uses Schaffmaster though. Ball goes out. Landfair off the block. Black probably should have let Hinkle take it, but you never know. Right side attack from Minnesota. Block back on the Minnesota side. Schaffmaster gives it back to the right side again. Dug by Hinkle deep into the court. Schaffmaster uses the second setter. Landfair with a hammer brings it across court. Guess that's the beauty of having McGee serve when she's a setter as well. Schaffmaster got used up on the first contact, and McGee she takes second ball.
Yep, she's right there. It's a nice advantage to have.
15-8, Minnesota on top. McGee goes to Hinkle, Tessier, McSweeney. Dug by Schaffmaster. Pushed back on the Minnesota side. Black and McSweeney were there as the ball was passed tight. I don't know if they'll get a block on Gross or if one of the two of them will get a kill.
Finally a good pass there for the Hawks. They were able to kind of string an offense together there. Just think they got in a little bit of a rut with that serve receive rotation.
Dennis back into serve. 15-9 Minnesota on top. Good pass. Middle attack, Gross. Just kind of slings it over, finds a good spot between Dennis and Hinkle in the back row. 16-9, Gross's first kill. Wennis back to serve. Comes forward, fires it, good serve. Hinkle, Tessier outside to Urquhart. Big swing down the line, touch. Too hot for Wennis to handle, scores right down the line on the outside.
I like that higher swing by Urquhart over there. Nice fast set still, but she swung a little higher that time.
Hinkle now to serve for the Hawks. She drops one in, good pass. Gross on the slide, goes off the tape. Dennis gets it, Jones touches it. Black's gonna get a swing, blocked. Jones kicks it up, Urquhart gets a swing, rolls it. McGraw, Schaffmaster, Landfair, Hinkle gets it back over. Schaffmaster back to Landfair again, through the block that time and scores. 17-10. Amaya Jones with the kick save. Hawks couldn't take advantage.
Yeah. They've got that triple block on Landfair out there. I'd like to see them get a stop on her.
Landfair now to serve. Gallops over, Dennis. Tessier one-hands it. Urquhart has to tip. There's a beauty, though. Comes down, mistimed. Tessier uses it. Jones has to platform behind her to Urquhart. High off the block, McGraw. Schaffmaster behind Wooker. Urquhart. Tessier, Jones out of the middle. That ball's up. Gross gets it over on a platform. Hinkle, Tessier behind her to Black. Blocks late, and Black takes advantage.
Black had a nice seam there to swing through. Put it away.
Yeah, the middle was doing a lot of running in with the setter in the front row. She'd been running slide and had a lot of work to do.
All the
Was
chaos.
late coming back to the right pin. Hawks took advantage. Ortega goes cross. Schaffmaster pushes it outside. Ball's tight. Blocked. Anabanjo gets it. Ortega to Anabanjo. Sails it into the first row.
And she was going for those high hands on the middle blocker there. Didn't quite get it.
We were talking about that last week where you can look bad and you really didn't miss by as much as it looks like. McGraw to serve now. Comes right down the line. Urquhart steps in. Ortega outside on a banjo. Big swing. McGraw couldn't control it. 18-12.
Nice high, strong swing there by Anna Banjo. Kind of made up for her error there.
Urquhart to serve. Hawks need a run here. Mickey pops it over, goes short, goes into the 2 spot, overpass. Jones goes right back up, takes advantage of the short serve. Good serve there from Urquhart. Doesn't get an ace, but turns into a Jones kill right away.
It's a great track there by Jones. Some of those you can kind of go up and just whiff it completely. She kind of took a step back and made sure she put it away.
It looks good. Your eyes get big, and then you misjudge it. Yep. Urquhart, same spot, over to the 2 spot this time. Schaffmaster behind her. It's behind the set, though. Urquhart, Ortega, outside. Vanderwide through the block, and the Hawks have 3 in a row. 18-14.
Good high swing there by Vanderwide, kind of off those high hands, not trying to pull it down too low on the tape.
Hawks creep a little closer. Urquhart's been serving into that 2-3, trying to create some traffic, especially with the setter front row. Urquhart, same spot again. McGraw, good pass. Outside, Wooker, block. Landfair can't cover. The triple block pays dividends there as they block Wooker. It's 18-15, timeout Minnesota.
Love that triple block. They might as well because the setter Schaffmaster is front row, so Minnesota's only have 2 options. So might as well send Vanderwide over there, get a block. They finally stopped Landfair there.
So when you see that, what's the, I mean, obviously you can get stretched out pin to pin because if the middle runs a slide to the right pin, now you're kind of lost.
Yep.
What are you thinking as the left pin? What's your cue to go back and go ahead and go triple?
So that ball was out of system. There was a back row player that was setting that ball. So the odds of them setting a slide are
sure.
slim to none. So, yep, you could tell that ball was going to be out of system, being set to the outside. So then you can go ahead and just cheat on over and be there for the triple. And they really needed a stop on Landfair, so that was a good momentum shift.
Hawks have kind of cleaned it up a little bit. You know, I think at the last break we were 7 kills on 11 swings. Now it's 10-2, so the Hawks have created a couple blocks and been able to get there. And now Iowa up 11 kills to just 7 errors. So after 6-6 at the last break, and now all of a sudden you look at the scoreboard, it's 18-15.
Yep, I think they've been hitting a little higher on the blocks, kind of getting those tool shots and not trying to bring it down as far, the higher hitting.
And this has been when you see Iowa give these ranked teams a challenge, it's this kind of balance. You know, you've got Black now with 3 kills, Toy's got 2, Amaya's got 2, Urquhart's got 2, Vanderwide's got 2. When Minnesota, obviously the first rotation part of the set dominated at the net, you better have balance to try to get that block a little off balance.
Exactly. Yep. Make it a little bit more unpredictable for Minnesota. You can spread out your hitters and take advantage of it when you get one-on-one opportunities.
I assume that starts with the better passing. Now the setter has options and the defense has to stay that 1 beat longer before they can move.
Exactly, yep.
Urquhart will see if she can keep the run going here for the Hawks. Floats it over into the 3 spot. Schaffmaster outside, blocked again back on the Minnesota side, uses Schaffmaster. McGraw behind her to Wooker, blocked, but this time out of bounds.
They were there for that block, just a weird touch off the arm there by Toy.
Schaffmaster rotates back to the back row now. She'll serve. 19-15, Gophers on top. Right down the line. Vanderwide, bad pass. Hinkle gets it back out to Vanderwide, though. Chops it. That'll get down. That's the toolbox.
Yes, smart shot down the line. Nice roll shot. She found that open spot and took advantage.
See if the Hawks can restart the run. 19-16. AJ back at the service line. She goes right down the line at McGraw. Good pass. Schaffmaster outside. Wooker hammers that one home. I'm sorry, that was Wennis.
Since it was a perfect pass, Dill was kind of stuck on the Minnesota middle there, and Toy only got 1 hand up. I just think they weren't quite ready for that one.
Kilkelly to serve. My stats do have that. It was Wooker, so I was right the first time. Vanderwide to Ortega. Behind her, Anna Banjo. Off the block and scores. Was able to take advantage that time. Maybe Huseman was a little late. Pounded it off Landfair into the scorer's table.
Yeah, she's got that high hands, and she's also got that seam open, too, for when she's ready to bounce a ball.
Tessier to serve. She'll have Kilkelly, Landfair, and McGraw to receive. Goes cross at Kilkelly. Beats her up a little bit. Wooker chases it down. Landfair is going to get a good roll shot. Covered by Tessier. Hinkle platforms it to Black. High hand scores. 20-18.
Just hitting higher overall. I like it.
Audrey didn't get a ton of balls Saturday night against Penn State, but boy, she played well. Ended up, I think, 8 or 9 kills. Hit over 300, I think. She was really solid. Tessier goes at Kilkelly again. Much better pass. Schaffmaster goes right side. Dug by Hinkle. Urquhart chases it down. Vanderwide chops it. Landfair. Middle attack coming. Block. Tessier gets hands on it. Hinkle. Urquhart from the back row. Into the net. I love the aggressiveness. Didn't work out well that time. 21-18.
Yeah, I don't think Urquhart was quite ready to take that back row attack, but maybe needed a little bit more height just to get there.
Yeah, it looked like all of a sudden she's out. Oh, that's my ball.
That's mine.
McGee to serve. She had the run early in the rotation. Hinkle, Tessier, outside to Black. Dug by McGee. Schaffmaster, Gross. Dug by Hinkle. Urquhart platformed over by Black. Schaffmaster outside to Landfair. Block was late, and holy cow. Coach Barnes kind of wants a throw again. We saw a lot of that against Penn State.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
We called that sticky fingers. 22-18. McGee to serve again. Goes at Vanderwide. Passes off the net. Tessier. Middle to McSweeney. Scores. Good ball there. Dill's doesn't always handle that ball behind her exceptionally well, but did that time.
Yeah, some of those sets from behind that are forced by the setter can be a little awkward, but she did a good job of putting that down.
22-19. Dennis will try to get the Hawkeyes a little closer. Sid goes right down the line. Goes outside Landfair. Blocked, covered. Gross tips it over. Called in the net. Or double. Yeah, I guess she swatted at it with 2 hands.
I don't know if there was a block touch on that first swing anyway.
Also called double contact that way?
I think. I don't know if Dill got a piece of that or not. Either way, it's Hawkeye ball.
Yep, Hawkeye point either way. 22-20. Dennis floats that one into the 2 spot. Good serve. Outside Landfair. Hawkeyes in the net. That was Audrey Black was in the net. 23-20. Landfair is so high on that swing.
She is. And sometimes when you just want to get a nice big block on a hitter that's on fire, you get a little too excited and get too tight to the net.
Wennis fires it over. Miscommunication. Tessier gets it to McSweeney, though. Gets the kill. 23-21. Hawks hanging around. Going to have to find that run awful soon, though.
I like how they're getting McSweeney going, though. Kind of add her to the kill list here.
Yeah, she's got a couple now. So really, all 6 hitters now with at least 2 kills. Hinkle. Bad pass. Schaffmaster to Landfair. Has to tip. Urquhart's there. Tessier behind her to Black. Into the crowd off Wennis's hands. 23-22.
Love the high swing by Black. Middle was late there for Minnesota. She took advantage, just hit high over the middle, right into the corner.
Hinkle again, pulls the trigger. Goes at McGraw, outside Landfair, dug by Hinkle. Landfair tips, fired it down with 2 hands, and Tessier couldn't handle it. Set point for Minnesota. Coach Barnes sitting on a timeout. Landfair in the back row, I guess. Good news for the Hawks that way. Floats it over. Urquhart, good pass to Tessier. Behind her to Black. Blocked. Hinkle covers. Black tips it over. McGraw. Schaffmaster slide to Gross. Finds the seam in the back row, and Minnesota takes set one, 25-22. Good competitive set after falling behind early, but Minnesota pulls away at the end to get the first set victory.
Yeah, I like how Iowa kind of made that switch, started hitting a little bit higher. Minnesota was really out-blocking them there, kind of at our initial break there. I like how the Hawkeyes kind of just changed it up just a little bit, was a little bit smarter with their shots, and they were right there.
We'll take a break. Minnesota on top, 1-0. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball, presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball, presented by Quickstar. I'm John Evans alongside Reagan Coyle. Minnesota took set one, 25-22. Quick look at the stats. We talked about the Hawkeye balance. After a tough start, Iowa ended up hitting 225 in the set, and we just saw the graphic. Minnesota, the number 5 blocking team in the country. So overall, Iowa's offense responded, but then you look at Minnesota, 16 kills on just 3 errors, hitting 325. Probably need to be better from the Hawkeye perspective.
Yeah, like I said, they kind of picked it up there after our first break, and I think it just comes down to efficiency. Still quite a few errors for the Hawkeyes. I like to see them up just a little bit more.
Now this 16 kills. Taylor Landfair with 6. McKenna Wooker with 4. So lead Minnesota. Audrey Black, great first set there. 5 kills, just 1 error. Toyosiana Banjo, nice to see her get back on track a little bit. She had 3 kills. Addie Vanderweide with 3. Hawkeyes good split. Mari Hinkle with 3 assists as your libero.
Hawkeyes were getting great touches on the block there towards the end of the set as well. So
yeah, toss in 8 digs there for Mari too, which I assume you see the libero flying all over the place and think, oh, they get digs. Well, they only get digs if the block is doing their job as well,
exactly.
Either positioning correctly or getting some touches.
Yes, she can't take the whole court, so you gotta have your block help you out a little bit. And as long as they're funneling the ball to her, she can get a nice dig. It's when they leave too much of the court is when the hitters just take advantage and find a way to hit the floor, especially in the Big Ten.
I talked when you and I did the match against Wisconsin last week. Sarah Franklin kept hitting that 4-5 seam, and I talked to Coach Barnes a little bit about it, and the response was between the block and Mari, they couldn't quite get positioned correctly. They knew where they wanted to be, they just could never get lined up right, and unfortunately, Franklin was so good that she was able to just, oh, you're going to be there? Well, here we go. I'm going to take advantage of this.
And that's what you see in the Big Ten, night in, night out.
Sydney Dennis will serve to start the second set. Goes right down the line. Kilkelly. Schaffmaster to Landfair. Strong tip. Pushes it through Tessier. I guess his Landfair has a pretty full toolbox when it comes to shots.
And I don't think they were expecting a tip out of her toolbox with the hard swing that she's been taking tonight.
McGee back in to serve for Minnesota. Hawks have had a hard time getting her off the line quickly. Goes over to Urquhart. Tessier back to Urquhart. Thought it got through the block. Gross actually almost got that ball late, but still pushed it back onto the Hawkeye side. 2-0 Minnesota. Gross was at Michigan State last year. McGee again. Hinkle, good pass to Tessier. Behind her to Black, has to tip it. Dug by McGee. The throw goes wide that time.
That was a quick set, but that was a little bit too low for Landfair out there. She didn't have many options to do with that one.
Hinkle now to serve. 2-1 Minnesota on top here in the second. Good serve. Good pass from Kilkelly. Schaffmaster, middle to Gross. Fires it off Tessier. 3-1. Gross's third kill.
It's a little bit of a one-footed slide there coming in the middle.
Wennis now to serve. Dennis, good pass. Jones out of the middle, blocked by Gross. Hawks will free ball it over. Outside to Landfair. Push back on the Minnesota side, back to Landfair again. She rolls it over. Tessier back to the Minnesota side. Gross, Schaffmaster, behind Gross, dug by Dennis. Tessier outside Urquhart, right down the line and scores again.
Caught Minnesota's middle sleeping just a little bit. She had line and cross open there. I love that line swing though.
I didn't realize, just as I was looking at the program here, Landfair's 6'5".
Wow.
And she can jump.
Yes, she can.
Serve floats over to Landfair. Slide to Gross again. Timing much better on that one. She splits the block. 4-2 Minnesota. They haven't timed that slide exceptionally well, and they haven't really got hard swings, but that one was a better one.
That was, and she had a little bit of a seam hit through there between Jones and Nabanjo.
Landfair now pops it over. Urquhart reaches for it. No help for Ortega. The ball falls on the ground. 5-2 ace serve.
Minnesota really targeting the outside hitters here on their service.
Looked like Mickey got caught reaching just a little bit there.
Feet got a little stuck.
Goes right back to her. Bad pass. Chased down by Dennis. On a banjo over her shoulder. She'll platform it over. Finds a good spot though. Schaffmaster on the slide. Ortega gets clobbered but gets it up in the air. Good hands by Jones. Hinkle. Ortega forces it to Jones. Block wasn't even there, but McGraw with a great save. Landfair from the back row. Jones gets caught with her hand in the cookie jar or the net. 6-2 Minnesota. Cheap kill for Landfair. And the Hawks will call a quick timeout.
I love the forced middle set by Ortega, though. That's very efficient with Jones. I think Minnesota just got a really good dig there.
Well, and you saw how off guard the block was.
Yeah, the block was not even there.
Yeah, there was no block there. So Iowa Volleyball is brought to you by University of Iowa Sports Medicine, offering sports injury prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation to athletes of all ages and skill levels. University of Iowa Sports Medicine, team physicians of your Iowa Hawks. So kind of the same story that we had the first set. A little bit of a slow start for the Hawkeyes. One kill, one error here on 5 swings, and Minnesota out to a good quick start again with 4 kills on 10 swings.
Still out blocking the Hawks too. 5 blocks to 2.5 with Iowa.
Yeah, I think they when Iowa had the triple block and they give halves to everybody, it screws up the count. The system can't account for 3 halves and still only equal 1.
Yep. I think this set Minnesota's really getting the middle number 8 going there. Gross. She's really becoming really efficient on that slide. I think they're kind of getting that rolling now.
Yeah, you can see looking at the stats where Minnesota wants to go. Obviously, Landfair 19 swings already in a set and 8 points. Gross has 11 and Wooker has 9, but they're going to force the ball to Landfair, and why not in that case? But
right. I think the key for the Hawks is to get their serve rolling, get the Gophers out of system, so that way they can't go to grass and they have to force it outside and get that triple block going out there too, get another big stop.
Landfair in the back row now. She is the reigning Big Ten Player of the Week. And again, not terribly difficult to see why. The game on ESPN, we're sitting by the red hat guy today, but I was hassling him before the match. He doesn't have the red hat on.
Should have got him a pink one for tonight.
That's what we said that too, but he got shut out completely. We were going to use the scorecard. We had all kinds of things. Landfair fires it over. Served up by Dennis. Ortega slide to Jones. Hawks tried something different, but the Minnesota block was there. That was Wooker and Gross.
They were ready for that slide by Jones. It was a little bit of a tight set too, so Jones was kind of trapped, didn't have too many options there.
4-0 run from Minnesota. Landfair floats that one over. Urquhart, Ortega behind her, same play. Hawks cover it. On a banjo, good ball to Urquhart. Sharp cross though, goes out of bounds. As the Minnesota blocks really turned it up again, 8-2.
We need a good pass here by the Hawks, get something rolling on offense.
Landfair goes at Dennis, good pass to Ortega. Outside to Urquhart, off the antenna. Ball was just pushed a little too far outside. And Hawks are in a bind here in the first set, or second set. Tessier comes back in for Anna Banjo. Landfair goes at Dennis, another beauty. Tessier slide to Jones, too tight. Hinkle has to just knock it over. Schaffmaster, Gross blocks, nowhere to be found. Hinkle chases down Dennis's dig. Urquhart puts it over, good ball. Schaffmaster outside. Wooker, dug by Hinkle. Dennis platforms it to Urquhart, he chops it over, sails long. And now it's the unforced errors as much as the forced errors that are starting to hurt. Urquhart will get a break. Nia Washington's going to check in. Landfair gets the go-ahead. Fires it down the line. Washington, Tessier, out to Washington. Big swing, sent right back to her. That's probably the hard part with Nia. Nia's 5'10", generously, and that is a big Minnesota block.
Yes. And it's our first swing of the night, coming in cold.
And 8-0 Minnesota runs, made it 11-2 here. Coach Barnes will use his second timeout. We'll go ahead and take this one too. Maybe we'll break some momentum here of our own. So you're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball. Hawk fans, experience your home away from home at Coralville's finest all-suite hotels. Homewood Suites and Home to Suites by Hilton each offer guests spacious suites, complimentary breakfast, 24-hour fitness center, pool, hot tub, guest laundry, and convenient locations. Let their warm and friendly staff take care of you and your family when you visit Hawkeye Country. Coach Coyle, what do we do different here to stop this slide?
Minnesota's got a great serve going. They're really bringing the heat. So first up, we need a really good pass here. We've got Tessier in the front row. If we can get a little bit tighter pass, I think it would be great if Tessier can be offensive here and kind of get a dump in the middle of the court just to switch things up. none of the hitters are on fire right now, so I think she might have to take matters into her own hands to get something rolling.
And maybe since they made the substitution, they lose track of where the setter is.
Yeah, exactly.
She gets a free dump on it. Landfair again. Goes over. There's pass off the net. Tessier to Jones. That's a tip. Schaffmaster gets it. McGraw. Wooker rolls it over. Hinkle. That ball's tight. There's your chance. She got it.
There we go.
Coach Coyle with a beautiful call there. Gets it done. Tessier gets the kill. Vanderwide comes back in. Dennis goes out. Washington will stay in. She'll serve. Nia, flat-footed serve. It's a good one. Falls off the net. Schaffmaster outside Wooker. Dug by Ortega. Tessier all the way across. Vanderwide chopped it right in the net.
Got to get that one over, especially out of system there, to give yourself a chance to defend. Lots of unforced errors for the Hawks, too.
Yeah, the blocks kind of, looks like they've kind of got the scare in them a little bit. McGraw right down the line at Washington. Good pass, Tessier outside Vanderwide. Sharp cross there, scores. Kind of got that back into the win at the line judge there. Was able to score 12-4. Jones to serve for the Hawks. Good sharp serve there. Wennis. Back row from Landfair. Dug by Washington. Vanderwide takes it. Washington just jumps over Jones. Outside Wooker. Dug by Jones. Tessier can get a, nope, couldn't get a platform on it. She actually had more room than I think she thought she did.
Never know when you're kind of chasing one down. You're looking at the ball. You have no idea where your feet are going.
And we've got some extra around. You know, we've got a cameraman on a wheeled chair over there, and Schaffmaster now to serve. 13-4 Minnesota. Good serve at Vanderwide. Tessier goes up, loses the joust, but the Hawks keep it in play. McSweeney loses the joust, sets it back to Vanderwide, rolls it over, uses Schaffmaster. Ball's back. Landfair has to platform it over. Ortega takes it. Good ball to Tessier. Behind her to McSweeney on the slide. Wooker actually had it dug up high enough that I think McGraw could have got it, but she would have done some bodily harm to her teammate there.
A little bit of an awkward swing there by McSweeney too, but I think it was just kind of a weird rally on both sides.
Black checks back in for Ortega. Tessier will go back to the service line. Good serve. Good pass. Ball goes outside. Dug by Tessier. Hinkle platforms it to Vanderwide behind her. Chops it over. Dug by Landfair. Schaffmaster behind her. High off the block. Dug by Hinkle. Tessier. McSweeney chops at the net. That one looked like a pretty good set. And just kind of missed it.
Kind of missed it. Yeah, it may have been a little bit on the low side for her too, but if that's the case, she needs to get a good tip over the block kind of in the middle of the court. Get him out of system.
Kilkelly to serve, 14-5 Gophers. Goes cross, Vanderwide off the net. Tessier platforms it to Black. High off the block, back on the Hawkeye side. Vanderwide, McSweeney off the block. McGraw, great dig. Schaffmaster, Landfair rolls it over, uses Black. Tessier, right side. Vanderwide, sent back onto the Hawkeye side. That was Huseman and Landfair. Looked like she was trying to chop that inside the block, and Huseman just shut that down.
Yeah, they were pressed and ready to go over the net. Chop doesn't quite work there.
Kilkelly again. Goes at Hinkle. Tessier, middle to McSweeney. Dug by Kilkelly. Platform to Landfair off the court. Dug by Black, but that's trouble. Huseman goes up and just dunks it right back down on the Hawkeye side.
Minnesota is consistently getting Iowa out of system with their free balls or their kills. Iowa's kind of struggling to put something together.
Kilkelly to Vanderwide. Tessier. Black off the block, out of bounds. Hawks score. The one thing all season Iowa has been pretty good at and fairly consistent at is they've run pretty good offense, but When serve receive abandons you, it gets really difficult, doesn't it?
It is hard, yep, to kind of find the motivation to get out of a hole if you dig yourself into one. Really creates momentum or takes away if it's going the opposite direction.
Dennis knocks it over. Kilkelly, Schaffmaster. Landfair's blocked. McSweeney and Black get her. There's some fire.
That's what they need to get something rolling here. Stop the hot hitter.
Just the second hitting error for Landfair. She go with 8 kills on 23 swings so far. Dennis again. Goes down the line. Kilkelly, Schaffmaster. Right side swing, blocked again, but back to Landfair. Hawks will have to be ready. Rolled over, dug by Tessier. Hinkle, Washington. Sneaks it through the block and scores. Nia Washington's first kill of the night.
I like the aggressiveness, but she's got to be a little careful. That block is there, ready to go. That got a little bit lucky there through the block.
I've been to practice. She's only got 1 speed. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Tessier puts a good ball back. Kilkelly, Schaffmaster, Landfair. Dug back onto the Minnesota side. McGraw, Schaffmaster, right side, tipped. Oh, McSweeney just about brings the net down. I think the tip would have found the floor anyway, but the net sealed the deal. 17-8 now. Hawks still trail. Give Wennis the kill there. McGee now to serve. Hinkle, Tessier behind her to Black, through the block and scores. Audrey Black's got 7 kills again.
Yeah, I really like the way she's hitting tonight. She's always just a solid, steady hitter, I feel like.
Hinkle now to serve. Ace serve, dropped it right in front of Kilkelly. So is there any hangovers from Saturday night? I'm not going to try to make excuses for you're still playing a top 10 team and all that, but
I would say probably not. I mean, it's Wednesday. It's one thing to go Friday, Saturday, but they've had a few days to recoup and practice and work on what they need to work on. Volleyball, you just got to forget about the last point even. So I would say the match is definitely forgotten about by now, hopefully.
Jones pushed a joust over the net, but it went back over high on the Minnesota side, and Gross was able to knock it right back down on the Hawkeye side, 18-10. Wennis now to serve. She takes a deep breath, gallops forward and fires. Drops it in front of Washington. Washington got moving sideways, and ball just dropped in front of her, 19-10.
Even though we got Washington and now Minnesota's still aiming for those outside hitters on their service.
You kind of want to aim at the new person anyway, right?
Exactly.
Goes right back to her again. Schaffmaster went up and dunked it over, but it was still on the Hawkeye side when she went and dunked it, so. I'm not even sure that ball would have gotten over if she hadn't touched it, but up referee called it immediately. Down ref answered Coach McCutcheon with, it was close, but. Gross tips it over, and she was called in the net. I don't want to miss Harley Cole. Harley Cole checked in and served there for the Hawks. She'll get another chance to serve. It's 19-12.
Hawks get a run rolling right here with her serving. Get a few blocks.
So I don't want to sell Harley short. I'm not sure. She goes at Kilkelly. Schaffmaster outside to Landfair. She knocks that home. Now Harley got in against Wright State, so just her second action on the year. Landfair back to serve. She's responsible for the big lead here for a number of different reasons. Goes at Cole. Good pass. Tessier outside to Washington. She scores.
Is that the speed you were talking about?
Like I said, she's only got one, so She is full speed ahead. She's fun to watch.
As long as that set is fast for her, it's going to be very efficient because that block is going to be late. She's going to have the seam.
Yeah, she's a little undersized, but she gets up and gets after it. Goes at Landfair. Schaffmaster outside. Dug by Hinkle. Tessier chases it down. Nice play by Vanderwide. Schaffmaster dug by Hinkle. Schaffmaster get another shot at it. Oh, man. Dug by Cole, and Washington came flying in from nowhere to try to get that ball up, but sent it into the crowd on the Minnesota side.
Hinkle and Cole were all over the floor on that play.
McGraw to serve. Goes right down the line off the tape. Washington, Tessier, Vanderwide, dug by Wooker. Back row from Landfair. That just looks easy for her.
It does. Helps being 6'5", too.
10 kills now for Taylor. McGraw again. Washington, much better pass this time. Tessier to Jones. No touch called. 23-13. You don't see Amaya with 2 kills and 3 errors very often.
Just the string of unforced errors here for the Hawks. Let's get some momentum going into the third set here.
McGraw fires again. Floats that one in the net. She was looking for the 2 spot. Didn't quite get it all the way up there. AJ fires it over. Landfair. Schaffmaster. Wooker. Hammers that off Jones. And we've got 2 handfuls of set points for Minnesota. See how many of the Hawks can at least make them use. Schaffmaster to try to serve it out. Goes down the line. Good pass. Tessier, McSweeney finds the floor.
There's the good high swing from McSweeney that we're used to seeing. Got a nice high set there for her to go up and get it.
Yeah, that one, even when she doesn't hit it as hard, at least then that one's over everything.
It is. It's over and it's deep on the court. It's hard to defend back there.
McSweeney's got 4 now. 24-15. Tessier to serve. Right down the line. That ball's tight. That was what a heck of a set from Schaffmaster, though. She gave a good ball back out to Wennis, and Wennis hammered it home. 25-15, Minnesota takes the second. We've got the extended halftime break on this one, so we'll take a couple minutes here. Minnesota leads 2-0 here at Extreme Arena. We'll be right back. This is Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball. I'm John Evans alongside Reagan Coyle. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Take a closer look and you'll discover the many connections you have to corn. And those connections translate into wins for farmers and wins for all Iowans. Share your winning moments using hashtag IowansWin. So far, it's been hashtag Taylor Landfair.
Yes, it has. You can see in the, just the kills by Minnesota alone, 17, versus 9 kills by Iowa. Just comes down to efficiency.
No, actually, that's 27 to 16,
gotcha.
But it's 12 more hitting errors. So
yes.
your efficiency point is
yes.
dead on.
Efficiency, yep. I think Hawks need to start shotting the ball, like I said kind of earlier. Find the middle of the court, find the setter, get them out of system so that way they don't have 3 options every time. They're really setting Landfair on the back row, they're setting her in the front row, they're setting her everywhere. Get a couple stops on her with a big block, and I think we can get some momentum like we saw in the first set.
Well, I talk a lot about, and I think we talked about it against Wisconsin, because especially with how good Wisconsin's defense was, it was make the other team win the point 2 or 3 times. And, yes, Minnesota has 8 blocks, but Iowa has 19 hitting errors. So Iowa has more self-inflicted wounds than they have. Now, part of that is because you're a little worried about a block, I assume.
Exactly, yeah.
But some of those balls are out-of-system things that we're just not handling well, making Minnesota win the point.
Yes.
And so it'll be interesting if Iowa can make that. Well, if Iowa's going to play a 4th set, they're going to have to make that adjustment for sure. Schaffmaster goes to Urquhart. Tessier to McSweeney, high off the block. Schaffmaster gets it. McGraw pushes it outside to the right. Big swing through the block, dug by the Hawks. McSweeney punches it over. Landfair, one-handed up. Chop, Tessier gets it. Hinkle, Urquhart off the net, rolls it. McGraw, that ball's tight. Schaffmaster behind her. Tessier can't get the dig. She's in the right spot, just couldn't get it up in the air. A little frustrated with herself, I think, there. Schaffmaster again. Urquhart, bad pass. Tessier chases it down. Urquhart, that's the self-inflicted wound.
Yep, it all starts with the pass too. Need a good in-system pass to get some offense rolling. That's kind of where the hole got started in the last set. Just started with bad passing, couldn't string anything together.
Schaffmaster again. Helps Iowa out, goes right in the net. So how much of it is, so Urquhart makes the bad serve, but then she compounds it by not making Minnesota win. Is that just kind of that mental?
Yeah, it doesn't help to not get set up with a good set, good in-system play there.
Urquhart, good tip over. Schaffmaster digs it. Big swing off the block and scores. That's Wennis. She's got 5.
And, there's always the saying, better the ball. So in Urquhart's shoes, it is a tricky ball to get over, but you just got to find a way to put it on the court, get it in somehow.
Kelly to serve. Off the tape, Urquhart, good ball to Tessier. One hands it behind her to Black, but she's blocked. That was Huseman and Landfair. That was a really good ball from Tessier with one hand.
That was.
Kelly drops it in front of Urquhart. It's 5-1 Minnesota here, and
this looks a little similar to the last set there.
Yeah, better buckle up here. It'll be a short night. Kelly again goes right back to Urquhart. Tessier behind Jones, has to just platform it over. McGraw to Landfair, look out, off the block. Hinkle's able to punch it up in the air. Tessier chases it down. Black off the block. Landfair and Huseman again. Coach Barnes will go ahead and call timeout. It's 6-1 Minnesota.
Yeah, the Minnesota block isn't going anywhere. They've got a solid block, 5th and D1. They're going to be there for every single point, every single play. I think I'd really like to see some more toolboxes open on Iowa's side, kind of bring out those shots and and be smarter with where they're placing the ball, whether they're in system or out of system.
Yeah, it feels like the out of system, the block is certainly going to be set up there. And so if all as you do is swing into it, it's probably coming right back at you.
Yes. Yep.
And that's what we've seen so far. Hey, Hawk fans, Oak Knoll is presently hiring full-time and part-time cooks to work in one of their 4 dining venues. Their cooks' shifts end at 8 p.m., meaning no late nights and more time with friends and family. They work with fresh foods, and they allow you to show off your creativity. Does having paid time off and benefits sound good to you? Learn more. Go to oakknoll.com/join-our-team. Go Hawks. So yeah, Hawks ended up hitting negative last set, 0-57. No kills, 3 errors, 5 here. So after hitting 225 in the first set with 17 kills, now it's, what are we down to for the match? 0-50.
Yes.
So it's been a pretty heavy backslide here since a very competitive first set.
Just stringing together some offense is the only thing that we need, really. Just put something together and make Minnesota work for their point. Right now they're not having to do much besides block.
And you look at the numbers, Minnesota's really served outsides hard. You know, Vanderwide 14 serve receives, Urquhart 10. Nia Washington hasn't played that much, and she had 6. The 2 defensive specialists, Mari and Sid Dennis, have a few, but not as much as the outsides are getting pounded right now.
They're really, every single ball is going to them.
So in theory, if you want a good set, make a good first pass, right?
Yeah.
It's just that simple, right?
It is.
Yeah, says the old guy sitting here. It's just that simple. What else would you do? Kilkelly to serve again. Goes at Urquhart. There it is. Tessier, Jones. Blocked. Hinkle, Jones. Schaffmaster with a good dig. Huseman puts the ball out. Off the block, dug by Dennis. Tessier, outside to Urquhart. Kilkelly, Jones. What a good spot there. Went up with a joust with Huseman and pushed it off to the side. Hawks stopped the 4-0 run.
It's a good fast set by Tessier out there to Urquhart to get that fast kill out there. That was kind of the spark that they needed to get something going here.
Hawks are going to switch, stay in 5-1. Black goes out. Cole comes in to play the back row. Fires in the corner. Kilkelly, good pass. Schaffmaster, middle attack. Huseman misses.
That's what we need. Make Minnesota make their errors. Take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's just the 7th hitting error from Minnesota, 8th hitting error from Minnesota. Cole to serve again. Good, strong serve there. McGraw, the good pass. Schaffmaster behind her, dug by Cole. Tessier outside, Urquhart. Blocked, outside of bounds. 6-4, Hawks trail, but Harley Cole doing a nice job on the service line.
Yeah, it's a great dig on defense there, too.
Cole over in the 5 spot. Floats it over to the 5 spot. Oh, man, just missed long. McGraw wanted to play it. Got out of the way just at the last minute. McGee to serve. Dennis, good pass. Tessier, slide to Jones. Off the block, covered by Tessier. Hinkle, behind her to Urquhart. High off the block. Oh, that's a smart play from Wenis there as the Hawkeye defense had all compressed forward to the net. Wenis pushed it back, and nobody could get there. The Hawks can get a couple, but they give a couple now.
I'd like to see Jones on a slide here. I know she can really hit a great slide. They can get her a good pass.
Dennis, Tessier, Urquhart. Dug by McGraw, or I'm sorry, dug by McGee. Hinkle gets that one. Tessier outside to Urquhart, tips. Good tip. So, all right.
We're opening the toolbox now.
So this is a great question for you. So as that pin hitter, you come down and you think, okay, I've got to get this. And in that case, all as it did was knock it back over your defense. Is there any Do you just go for any ball you can get, or is there any code of, okay, I know this player's there, and I'm going to let it go even though I might be able to touch it?
As far as the
tip.
offense?
Yeah.
Even if a hitter or, if a defender is there to get it, at least you throw them off balance a little bit so that way they're not really expecting what you're going to do on the next ball.
Sure. Landfair gets the kill there, 9-5.
And in that case, Urquhart hasn't tipped a whole lot, so the defender was playing very deep, expecting her to swing.
Wenis, good serve. Urquhart, Tessier, Washington blocked back onto the Hawkeye side. Huseman and Gross. I mean, that's Schaffmaster and Gross. Serves it at Urquhart, bad pass. Kind of got caught backpedaling there. But my point with that block was you've got 6'3", 6'3", and then you've got Landfair on the other side at 6'5". It's a pretty stout front line. Wenis goes the same spot. Little better pass. Tessier outside of Washington. Blocked but covered. Urquhart chases it down. Washington again. Dug by Kilkelly with one hand. McGraw gets it all the way out to Landfair. Good strong chop into the 4 spot. Urquhart from the back row. Sent back by Landfair. Yeah, to your point, there hasn't really been, the off speed has been very readable, I guess, for the most part.
Yeah.
12 blocks now to 3. Wenis goes at Urquhart. Tessier, slide to Jones.
There's that slide by Jones.
Hawks catch a break in the net. Although that was going to be a kill anyway. That went off the back line defender.
Yeah, with them running a 6-2 for the most part, Jones doesn't really get a whole lot of slides set to her, but with switching to that 5-1 now, she has that opportunity.
Good pass there from Wenis outside the Landfair. She tips. Cole with a good diving play. Tessier started to swing at it and then realized she was probably going to punch Cole in the face if she went for that. Yeah, that was one of the rotations. The Hawks kind of had a hard time. This 5-6 rotation was part of how 6-2 came to be for the Hawks, was trying to side out of this rotation. Cole off the net. Tessier gives it to Washington outside. Good dig. McSweeney loses the joust. Back on the Hawkeye side, and 4 contacts later, it's 14-6 Minnesota. McSweeney has some height, but Gross is sturdy.
Yep. And sometimes it's not about the height, it's about kind of who touches it last.
That leverage to push. Good serve there from Landfair. Tessier dumps it in, caught Wenis flat-footed, scores. Tessier's got a couple kills now.
Just to throw them off balance just a little bit. I like when she throws those dumps in there, but she's got to get a good pass to do that.
Even if it doesn't work, at least the threat of it is good, right?
Yes.
I mean, just to kind of keep somebody sitting a little bit longer.
Yes.
Tessier, good serve. Wenis off the net. Outside, Wooker off the block with scores.
McSweeney was there on that block, had it almost closed. Just press her hands over it just a little bit more to get some coverage over that net. She would have had that.
McGraw goes right down the line at Washington. Tessier chases it down outside to Black. Dug by McGraw. Wooker goes up, but she's blocked by McSweeney. Schaffmaster, Wooker chopped it down the line. Tessier digs it. Hinkle. Washington from the right side. Catches Wooker in the net. Nia's got 3 kills now.
I really like her speed, and she threw in a couple high shots there too that I liked, kind of high above the block just to switch it up a little bit.
I told you, she's only got 1 speed.
Yeah.
It's full speed.
I like the high full speed.
Dennis, good flat serve. Passes off the net. Schaffmaster back row to Landfair. And I'm not sure that mattered. It looked just like the front row as it quickly finds the floor, 16-8. Landfair's got 13 now. Minnesota hitting .284 for the match. Schaffmaster to serve again. Right down the line, Urquhart, bad pass. That's the fourth time Mickey's been ace. She's usually rock solid in serve receive.
Yeah, I think they might be in her head just a little bit.
The bad news is they're probably coming right back to you. You better be ready. There it is. Tough pass. Tessier middle to McSweeney. Misses timing. McGraw gets it up. McSweeney tried to tip the overpass and missed it wide. 18-8. Timeout, Coach Barnes. We'll go ahead and take another quick break. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball. Quickstar is proud to be the presenting sponsor for Hawkeye Volleyball. Quickstar goes the extra mile to make sure that you always have the freshest options because service and quality is what matters most. Visit any of their locations across Iowa. Okay, Coach Coyle worked out good last time, so let's try this again. Obviously, 18-8 against a team like Minnesota is whatever it is. What's now, you're in the huddle here. What are you trying to come out of this? Because you play again Friday.
Right.
So how do you kind of get your head back on straight, maybe shake some demons out here and at least make a positive last 15 minutes if you can't extend it any longer?
Sure. Well, I think everybody knows where the ball's going. Obviously, it's going to Urquhart over there. I think she's ready, and after a break like that, it's like she knows it's going to come right to her. And I think our offense has been just a little shaky, so I really think they need a big kill cure coming out. They've got Tessier up there, and I think Black's been on fire recently. I feel like they should set her.
There it's the Urquhart off the net. Tessier behind her to Black. Off the block and scores. All right, here we go.
Coach, 2 for 2.
Coach Coyle. We had another success there. 18-9 now. Hinkle back to serve. I won't put you on the spot so we can keep your record kind of in good shape here. Hinkle goes it. Ooh, good quick middle set there. That was Huseman that put that down. Wennis put a good pass there.
Yeah, Minnesota's passing has looked awesome all night. They give their setter nice high ball on the net and an A.
And I think to your point earlier, we're looking at it now, 36 kills to 33, but it's the errors that are just off the chart different. Urquhart, Tessier behind her to Black. And there's another one. It's another good block. And again, 12 or 13 of those are Minnesota blocks, but that's the 26th hitting error for the Hawkeyes tonight. Kilkelly again. Good flat serve at Urquhart. Tessier to Jones. Off the block. Schaffmaster tries. Kilkelly gets it up in the air, and McGraw puts it back to the Hawkeye side. Dennis, Tessier behind her to Black. Blocked. And I guess that's what great teams do. We talked about that earlier. They had no business getting that point up, yet they do.
Yep.
And make Iowa win it again, and Iowa can't do it.
And after a few stuff blocks, a solid block like Minnesota's can get in your head a little bit, and then you think too much about where you're hitting the ball. I think Toy in here kind of being a fresh swing.
Jones off the block. Gets the kill.
Then you start taking, a little bit of heat off the ball, and then it's almost easier for Minnesota to block because it's just there for the taking.
Cole comes back in to serve. Landfair, Schaffmaster, Landfair, dug by Dennis. Tessier wins the joust with Landfair. Like you said, it's kind of the last person to touch it. She was able to keep the momentum, pushed it into the Minnesota, right into the donut.
Yep, she was patient there, kind of went up at the last second.
21-11. Cole to serve again. Floats it over in the one spot. Kilkelly, Schaffmaster, dug by Cole. Hinkle, Urquhart outside the antenna. That was pretty good work by Schaffmaster. Got the dig and then called it.
Yeah. I like the idea there by Urquhart, kind of that roll shot down the line. Smart idea, just caught the outside of the antenna. Great dig in the back by Harley Cole. She's doing well here.
McGee floats it at Dennis. Good pass. Tessier outside to Urquhart. Blocked back onto the Hawkeye side. Gross and Wennis. Vanderwide will check in for Mickey at 23-11. Block number 13 for Minnesota. And it's kind of spread out. Landfair and Gross have a bunch of them, but Huseman's got 5. Goes at Dennis. Tessier. Dug by Schaffmaster. Behind her to Landfair. Dug by Hinkle. Tessier. Vanderwide might have caught a break there. Schaffmaster to Landfair. Off the block. Dug by Cole. Tessier. Jones off the block. Dug by Kilkelly. Right side. Wennis through the block and scores. (24-11). McGee will try to finish it up for the Gophers. Good flat serve. Tough pass. Vanderwide rolls it over. Outside, Wennis powers it through the block there, and boy, that was quick and fairly painful, really.
Minnesota's a great team, and I think they really showed why they're the fifth best blocking team in D1. I mean, it was obvious there. They had really great blocking presence.
Yeah, they didn't do anything to hurt their stats there, did they?
No. They might bump up.
13 kills from Taylor Landfair, 8 from Jenna Wennis. But really, yeah, it was Taylor Landfair also with 8 blocks, Nia Gross with 8 blocks, 5 from Ellie Huseman. Hawks did get 8 kills out of Audrey Black, but they really kind of found a way to shut her down and ended up with 5 hitting errors.
Yeah, I think it comes down to efficiency for the Hawks. You know, their kills were spread out, but you know, our best hitter was our setter here. Three kills on 4 attempts.
We'll get Coach Barnes here real quick. You ran into a freight train, Coach.
Yeah, they played great, and you know, I said it this week. We looked flat in practice, and we were pushing them hard and to try to get ourselves going, and it showed in this match. We weren't crisp at all, and serve and pass. Normally, that's the part where we can compete and have beat most teams in serve pass game, but we just didn't play well tonight.
Yeah, we were looking at. I understand Minnesota's the 5th ranked blocking team in the country, but 38 kills to 35 was all the difference was on the kill side. But then you slide over a column to the air side, and there were a lot of blocks, but there were also some unforced things. Is that just kind of a function of the flat that you talked about, maybe?
Yeah, we talked about it in every huddle. I go, guys, we're getting as many kills as they are, but if we're not killing it, we're hitting it square into their block. And I go, and those blocks, they're mostly one-on-ones. They weren't like double blocks. So our hitters weren't seeing it very well. Our setters, I don't think they were really crisp as well. And so that compounds. And, they're a good blocking team, but we made them look like, the best team in the country.
Well, we talked about how, if you're a little flat in the Big Ten, that's probably not going to end well for you, and tonight didn't. I guess good news is, or bad news is, you get a bounce right back Friday. So now we'll head to Ohio State Friday night for another top 10 battle and another team you've seen.
Right. Yeah, and I said this week it's going to be a gut check. This team's going to have to get up and play against these great teams, and we got to compete. And we just we didn't do it tonight.
Well, I'll let you go, Coach. I know you probably have at least a couple things you want to say in the locker room.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Jim Barnes. We'll get Reagan here back real quick for her final thoughts before we head out for the night. As you might have imagined, a frustrated Coach Barnes felt like obviously Minnesota was better tonight, but maybe felt like Iowa didn't represent quite the way he would have wanted.
Yeah, I really liked the way that they played in that first set. They looked great. They just couldn't quite keep it there. I think Minnesota really turned up their block, and it showed in those last two sets with Iowa's efficiency being so low, and then Minnesota just racking up the blocks and just turned into a blocking fest for Minnesota, I feel like.
So as a player now, is this short turnaround good? You come back Friday night and you're just right back at it. I mean, now tomorrow's not even a full day of practice. They'll do a little walkthrough. We jump on a plane at 6 o'clock and fly out to Columbus and then match Friday. Is that good to be able to flush one of these, or does this linger?
I feel like a match like this that's quick and it's a little ugly if you're Iowa. I feel like it's an easy one to just kind of sweep under the rug, forget about it, and just kind of come back Friday night and just hope it was just kind of a one-time.
Melt the tape and say
Yes.
this one doesn't even count anymore.
Somewhat, but also they have use the things that they need to work on from this set and kind of bring that into Friday and find a way to win.
Sounds good. And then they get 2 days off and then regroup for the back half of the season. So did you get 2 days off in season very often?
Not that I can remember. But the Wednesday, Friday matches are kind of newer. We were always usually Friday, Saturday, some Wednesdays. But
Yeah, now with TV, there's a lot of different scheduling quirks. Well, it sounds like you're going to get to join me at least twice more, maybe a third time more.
Yes.
So, as I said, you're always welcome. Appreciate you coming on tonight again.
of course.
Hanging out with us. I know we didn't quite get the action-packed, exciting match, at least from the Hawkeye side, that we wanted, but very business-like from the Gophers tonight. So that'll do it. We'll wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. You've been listening to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. I'm John Evans. That was Reagan Coyle. Hawkeyes travel to Ohio State Friday night, and then we'll be back home. It's the 27th, so we'll be back home the 27th to play Maryland. I think that's Thursday night here in Extreme Arena. So, again, thanks for tuning in. I'm John Evans. Have a great night.